Toronto Maple Leafs tonight to take on the Nashville Predators.
When the devil's knocking at my door, when I'm broken and I'm battle worn.
He scores! Yes, sir!
Top of the mountain all the way down, when I'm lost and when I'm found.
Harder to Van Riemsdyk for the hat trick!
In the day, in the light, in the dark of the night, when it all goes wrong, when it all goes right.
Brad and Curtis Rempel make up the Canadian country duo High Valley that has been taking the nation by storm with their top 10 country radio hit, She's With Me. The song has over 29 million streams, and tonight they will be on hand for a huge game in Nashville between the Leafs and the Preds. Brad and Curtis, thanks for doing the show with us. We appreciate it. I guess I'll start with this. I know you guys are Canadian, but you've obviously spent a ton of time in Nashville, which has obviously become a hockey hotbed. So have the Preds won you over? Is that your team?
Yeah, I would say, you know, after being to a few games, it's pretty hard not to start connecting with the team and cheering for them.
I moved here 8 years ago, and Jordan Tutu, who I grew up playing hockey against, was currently a Nashville Predator at the time, and it was pretty easy to start cheering for the Preds.
You guys have made it to the bright lights of Nashville. Talk how you get from La Crete, Alberta, which is a small town in northern Alberta, to the bright lights of Nashville.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, man, but it's a slow and steady ride for us. But 2 years ago, we signed a record deal with Warner Brothers here at Atlantic Records out of New York City as well. And now we've been able to see the whole world, and hockey's a big part of it. We were just in Germany, and one of our friends, Brent Redicke, plays in the Dutch Elite League out there. So no matter where we're at, it's all about hockey.
You guys are just mixing in the hockey all the time then, it sounds like.
Whenever we can. Brad and I play in a league here in Nashville, and we're pretty busy right now, so it's been a little while since we hit the X, but we try to as much as we can.
Yeah, you're missing a few man games week to week, I would think. But obviously, Nashville has become such a hockey-centric place. I mean, it's known for music. Does it surprise you guys how much people have got on board with this team, especially now that they look like the Stanley Cup favorite?
Man, I love hearing you say that. That's awesome. Well, obviously, I'm going to the game tonight, and I can tell you I've been to games in Anaheim this year. We've been to games in St. Louis and quite a few different cities this year, and Nashville stands out as the craziest crowd, the loudest crowd, and it's not a very corporate crowd. It's honestly a hockey fan. Yeah.
You guys just finished 2017 headlining your first tour. How was it to headline your first tour? And talk about this single, She's With Me, blowing up on the radio charts.
Oh, man, the tour was unbelievable. I mean, like you said, it was our first time headlining across the United States, and people coast to coast, you know, East Coast, West Coast, were singing our songs back to us, especially She's With Me and our other single, Make You Mine. And having people sing your music back to you is kind of an unrealistic dream, and it's just starting to happen, and it's been blowing our minds.
I tell you what was amazing, though, was in Toronto at the time, we had Eric Fair, who was with the Leafs at the moment, on the bus. We had Gary Roberts out there. I wore a Leafs jersey. A few weeks later, we were in Anaheim, and my wife and I got to catch 2 periods of our friend Corey Perry's game. And then he snuck out and was there. Even though the game went into overtime, he was at our show. He was singing along, and we may or may not have worn Ducks jerseys on stage that night.
So you guys are cheering for a few teams then, because you sound like you've got friends in a lot of places. Gary Roberts, though, showing up, did he approve of all of your backstage food and whatnot? Because he's like a health nut.
Yeah, he is a health nut. He gave us a hard time a few years ago when we were hanging out with him at the Juno Awards in Canada. And Brad's picked up a lot of great habits from Gary Roberts. I feel like I'm still working my way.
I love it. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. Listen, guys, I'm seeing some of the acts that you guys have shared the stage with: Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, Shania Twain, Keith Urban, Reba McEntire. I mean, these are country legends. Was there anyone in particular that was sort of a wow, like pinch me moment? Am I really on tour with this person right now?
Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, I mean, the star power that they have individually is crazy. Mm-hmm. And if you want to talk about Gary Roberts being a fitness freak, Tim McGraw is every bit as hardcore as Gary. And I've been following Gary's training now for 4 years, and thankfully that's what allowed me to hang with Tim McGraw when we'd work out before the show, because that man is hardcore.
I believe you just based on the way you said hardcore there. Well, listen, guys, congratulations on all of your success. All the best moving forward. Give us the details on what's happening this week with you guys.
What's happening this week? I mean, we just saw Kadri from the Leafs downtown in Nashville hanging out. I don't know how many people recognize him. So we're about to go to the game, go see the Preds, hopefully beat the Leafs. No offense. And,
this is an American audience. I think you're good.
All right.
Okay, phew.
And then we're flying to Vancouver for the Juno Awards. We're nominated. We're going to walk the red carpet. I don't know if we're going to hang out with Bieber and Shawn Mendes and Drake.
Nobody knows
weekend.
for sure.
The
Nobody
question really is, if you do, rub shoulders with the Biebs or Drake or Shawn Mendes, will you selfie and document the occasion?
We'll talk about hockey the entire time while taking a selfie.
Perfect. How Canadian of you. Listen, we appreciate your time. All the best and enjoy the game tonight.
Thank you, guys.